Today we're going to get this level 1 noob all the way to level 2550, the max level inside of Blox fruits, and today we're going to be doing it with the sound fruit. Let's get into it. Okay, so because this fruit is completely new, I'm going to make sure to show you guys all the abilities for it as well. So let's start off on killing some of these level 1 bandits with the first ability. Let's go. Boom! As you can see, it's pretty cool. It doesn't do a whole lot of damage at the moment because we are only level 1. That kind of makes sense, but you know. Anyway, let's move on. Let's kill these bandits and let's move on to the next island. Alright, so we're up to our very first boss of the episode, which is going to be the Gorilla King. So without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, there we go. We beat him. It's time to move on to the next island. Oh, look at all those levels coming. I absolutely love to see that. But let's move on. Let's go. Okay, so now that we are level 55, it's time to take on Bobby, the second boss of the episode, and we're going to beat him with the sound fruit. Let's go. Okay, so we are done with the desert island because there is zero boss here. We don't have to kill anything. So let's head over to the next island, which is going to be the Frozen Village, where we have some important things to do and some bosses to kill. So let's do it. Another thing I almost completely forgot to do is go and get the black cape, which is one of the best accessories to get in the early game of Blox fruits, so let's go do that now. All I have to do is just come to the top of this tower, go down this little rabbit hole, and speak to this guy, and I think it's like 50k, and it's pretty cheap to buy, and you get a crazy good accessory. This accessory just gives you a bunch of universal damage on your Blox fruit, which is always a bonus, so I will take that. Okay, so level 130, it's time to take on the Vice Admiral boss, which is the next guy we're going to beat, so let's get into it. Okay, so now that we are level 242, we can take on all 3 of the Prison Island bosses. Let's go! Okay, so it is finally time to take on our next boss, which is going to be the Magma Admiral at level 350. Let's go! Okay, so you know what time it is again. It's level 427 time. Time to take on the Fishman Lord. Let's do it. Okay, so it is boss time again. Once again, level 500. We are getting very close to finishing the first sea. Anyway, let's kill this boss. Let's go. The second last boss of the first sea, ladies and gentlemen, is the Thunder God, and we're about to take him on. Let's go. Okay, so we are officially up to the last boss of the first sea, and that is going to be Frankie over there. So let's go beat him up with the sound fruit. Let's do it. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the second sea. We have finally reached it. Now we just got lots of bosses to go kill and lots of NPCs to farm and gain tons of levels. Let's go. Alright, so we're up to the very first boss of the second sea, which is Diamond right behind me. Let's go kill him. Okay, so I finally made our way to the second boss, and this is Jeremy. We're gonna go beat him as well. He's pretty easy though, so it shouldn't take too long. Alright, so level 926, and it's time to take on the gravity boss of the second sea. Let's go. Alright, so we're finally up to the next boss, which is the Smoke Admiral. Now, don't ask me why there's such a massive gap between bosses, like from leading up to our last boss to here. I don't know why. Let's get into it. Alright, so we are level 1400, and we only have a few more bosses to actually kill in the second sea, and then we can move on. So, let's go. Okay, so I'm going to showcase the actual sound fruit. I completely forgot to record the intro for this part, but anyway, I'm going to showcase the sound fruit. I did promise that at the very start of the video, so all these are the abilities and everything you need to know about the sound fruit. Okay, so you might have noticed that there is something called a tempo meter. Now, this is really important with the sound fruit and is probably one of the most vital parts of the whole fruit. But pretty much, let me just go over that really quickly. When you're using an ability of the sound fruit, this tempo meter will continue to rise, and when it finally reaches max, all you get is this golden kind of tempo. All your abilities go gold. Now, it's really important because while you're here, you gain a huge amount of buffs. You gain higher amounts of speed, more damage, and a massive 20% damage reduction to you and all nearby allies as well. It's really, really strong. Now, the downside to this, however, is the fact that when you're building this tempo meter up, your fruit kind of sucks. I'm not gonna lie, you do a lot less damage. The whole fruit is kind of built around this tempo meter. However, it's really easy to get it leveled up just by using the flight move, which, by the way, is really, really good. But anyway, let's get into the actual abilities. The first ability is the raspy notes, and it just throws 3 notes at people. It's pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. The next is going to be the X move, and this X move is probably the weakest move out of all of them, in my opinion. it creates this like large knockback range, which honestly isn't that good and kind of terrible for farming, if that's what you're using it for. The next one, which is by far probably one of the strongest moves of all, is going to be the C move. You pretty much create this disco ball that just attacks everything that's near it, and does release like a weird like orb that blows up afterwards. But this is really good for pulling NPCs together and able to kill them. Makes it a lot easier to farm on this fruit, which is why I consider this fruit to be one of the best farming fruits in the game. The last one is going to be the Glorious Harmony, and that is going to be the final move. Now, this move only has one drawback, but it is a pretty minor one for leveling up, but a pretty major one for using it for PvP. So let's use it. There we go. So as you can see, pretty awesome. Does a lot of damage too. It does a lot of damage, and it's a pretty large AoE too. It's not bad. The cooldown's pretty long as well, but it's not crazy long, so it's okay. And obviously the last move is going to be the flight, which by the way is some of the best flight in the entire game. Once you get it to the fully maxed out golden state, it becomes very fast and you can fully control it as well, which is very, very nice. It's not as quick as light, but again, it's very, very controllable, and I really, really like this flight. It's one of the best in the game for sure. Alright, so there we go. That's the full showcase of this fruit. I'm going to get back to farming, guys, and I will see you guys when I'm max level for this seed, and we can move on to the third seed. Let's go. Okay, so now that we are level 1500, what I need to do is actually take this Quake fruit I got out of my inventory and go and give it to Trevor over here, because he's going to take it away like the absolute scam artist that he is. There we go. And now we should have access to a little room down here. There we go. And we can just defeat this boss and move across to the third seed. Let's go. Alright, there we go. We absolutely destroyed him. I'm not gonna lie, we did kind of come close to dying. But it's okay, because we killed him. And now we can go and finally move across to the third seat. Let's go. Sometimes I play it safe. Alright, so it is time to take on the very first boss of the third sea. His name is Stern. He spawns behind me, and he is very, very easy to kill. Let's go. Means that I'll try again tomorrow. It's my dark created mountains where the valleys used to be. Gotta change perspective if I really want to see that sunrise over the water. I swam over and under. Get lost in all the wonder. Never call it quits, no. When life hit me apart. Alright, so in front of me is the next boss that we have to go kill for the second sea. So without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are getting very, very close to finishing this episode, but not really at the same time. We've got a lot of levels to do. But the next boss that we need to beat is going to be the Kilo Admiral, so let's go! It won't break me, I'm braver than I know. It's my dark created mountains where the valleys used to be. Gotta change perspective if I really want to see it. Sunrise over the water, I swam over and under. Get lost in all the wonder, never call it quits, no. Okay, so we're gonna go beat the Elephant Captain now. These guys in the third sea, all the bosses in the third sea, just have so much health. It's ridiculous. It takes so long to kill them with anything that isn't a butterfruit. Oh my god. But it should be okay. We're gonna absolutely destroy this boss behind me. Let's go. Creating mountains where the valleys used to be. Okay, so we are up to the next boss, which is going to be the beautiful pirate. Now, he just spawns in this like little domain area. Oh, and of course, he is not here. So we're gonna have to server hop to find this guy. Let's go. But I've overcome it all, and I'm still here. Oh, I gotta change perspectives if I really want to see. Sunrise over the water.
I swam over and under. Get lost in all the wonder. Never call it quits. No. When life hit me harder, I went faster and farther. I just gotta remember I was made for this. Oh, such a time as this.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are finally up to the last boss of the video. We are up to the Cake Queen, but don't be fooled, we still have a ton of leveling up to do. So, without further ado, let's kill this boss.
Why am I always my own enemy? Stronger is something I wanna be. Hope keeps on breaking on the kitchen floor. I want more.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are done finally with the Sound Fruit Noob to Pro. It was a journey, but we got there in the end. It took a very, very long time. So if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.